Welcome everyone to the Fourth Line Plugs official about quarter mark report cards. Between quarter and third mark, right at Thanksgiving is when all these grades are backdated. We have gone through the entire NHL, all 32 teams, and we have given them grades in various categories. Jackson, do you want to break down these categories for us?
Sure. So our category, our courses, if you will, of fourth line plugs, school for good little hockey teams, is we have offense, and so we're looking at XGF per 60 and GF per 60 are the stats that we pulled for those. Plus, we'll put our own personal biases and things like that into our ratings as well for all of these. But we are going to pull some stats so that we have the stats plus their ranking in the NHL, so we can kind of see where teams are. So XGF, we can go into XGF again really quick. XGF is expected goals. In that case, expected goals are determined by different modeling things. We're using Evolving Hockey for this episode. When you see a shot, what is the chance that it should be a goal? So depending on where it is in front of the net, depending on where on the ice it is, that's the main thing. That is determined by it. So, if you've got a good clean shot from the slot, that's going to be a much higher expected goal than like a defenseman just firing something on net from the blue line. Goalie gets a save either way. Team gets registered for a shot either way. But XG actually provides a way to kind of derive something from that data. So we like to look at XG as kind of like a systems kind of thing. At least that's how I kind of think about it. So if a team has good expected goals for, that means they're generating a lot of chances. And they may not be finishing those chances well, or they might be finishing sub-quality chances because they have elite finishers on their team. And then vice versa kind of goes with defense and goaltending. So with defense, expected goals against is going to be, that's the second course, by the way, defenses. Expected goals against is going to be their ability to prevent those high danger chances, based on the quality of the chance. And then goals against, I think, is more closely tied to goaltending, but obviously defense plays a big part in that as well. So we pulled that as well. For our power play, we've got the goals for, and for offense and defense, those are 5v5 only. We've pulled just the 5v5 stats for that, which is important. So then for the power play, we have the XGF and the GF for while they're on the power play. Penalty kill, we have the expected goals against and the goals against while they're on the penalty kill. And then there is the fifth category is goaltending, where we've got goals saved above expected, as well as the save percentage for the more traditional stat there that we'll look at. And then the last one is no stat at all. We have vibes as our last course. Yeah. And it's just, how do we think this team is feeling about their performance? How do we think the vibes are like in the locker room? What's the general vibe of the team?
It's kind of like a way to put our thumb on the scale a little bit. And also, at least whenever I was thinking about the vibes, is kind of just like, what's the general fan sentiment?
Yeah.
Is there are the fans satisfied, regardless of how well the team is performing? Like, are they performing above expectations, but they're not a playoff team? Their vibes are pretty high.
Yeah, some bad teams have had like very good performances, and their vibes are crazy high. Some teams are doing fine, but they really like to be doing better, and so their vibes might be a little bit lower. So and then Colin also pulled a bunch of stats. Home away splits, overtime and shootout games, records, their ability to win a coin flip, basically. And then their playoff teams versus lottery teams, which I think is going to be cool to see who's beating contenders, who's just coasting off of easy wins.
Yeah. And none of those are graded. It's just like,
we're gonna factor that into vibes and how we color our discussions of the teams, because those are important frames of context for the stats that we're seeing and stuff like that. So
yeah. And full transparency, all these stats were pulled on Thanksgiving. They were all screenshotted in a few minutes that I had before going to my parents for Thanksgiving. And this is being recorded afterwards. So if you look at any of these stats, you're like, that doesn't look right. It's because those are the stats on Thanksgiving. Maybe not when you are seeing this. So things could drastically change in any direction. So we're going to start off here with the Pacific Division. We're going to start in the Western Conference, then go to the East. And the first conference we're going to look at is the Pacific Division. And the first team in that is the Anaheim Ducks.
A good place to start.
They are. They are sitting pretty happy, I'd say, overall. First in the Pacific, fourth in the West, seventh in the NHL, having themselves a very nice season. Kicking off with the offense here, we have given them an A grade.
Yeah. They've got the sixth highest XGF per 60, fifth highest actual goals for. Their offense is clicking on all levels, and it shows when you look at the team. I mean, they're scoring a ton of goals. That's really, they're a very impressive team to watch get to work 5v5 on offense. You know, Leo Carlson's having himself a season and a half.
Yeah.
You know, and they've got lots of other good players at 5v5. So.
Yep. Their defense got a very different grade.
Yes, it did.
We gave them an F.
Yeah. So they're 31st in expected goals against per 60 in the NHL. And their goals against is only tied for 17th, still below average. But obviously that factors in goaltending. So when you look purely at the expected numbers, they are not doing a very good job of limiting chances. So, yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I can do is give them an F for that.
Yeah, they're expected to allow over 3 goals per game. That is very bad. You'll see over the course of these grades what, like, you know, medium and good expected goals numbers are. You're not going to see any more 3s except for, I think, one other team below them. Is extremely bad. Their power play got a B-. It is right in the middle of the road.
I like the B-. I trended towards giving them a slightly better grade because their power play was terrible last year. So they've really tightened that up. Having Chris Kreider on your team can do for you. Also, just in general, their system looks better. It looks like they're moving the puck a little bit better. They're getting higher quality shots on goal, obviously. So they've got a solid power play.
They do. Their penalty kill, it seems like the system is good and maybe the execution is a bit lacking.
The system is decent.
The system is decent. We gave them a C- overall because of the actual numbers are quite bad.
9.57 goals against per 60 puts them at 27th in the league.
Yep.
So even though, and we'll get to it, you know, right after this, even though their goaltending has been good, it hasn't really resulted in preventing a lot of goals in the penalty kill. So that's something that it seems like, you know, you'd hope that would even out over time. And they'd trend more towards their expected amount, especially with, you know, how good their goaltending's been. So, speaking of that good goaltending, I'll give him an A- for goaltending.
Yep, they're 10th in save percentage, 12th in goal saved above expected. And the goal saved above expected is weighted, quote unquote. But it just being straight up goals saved above expected, the starter, Dostal, is theoretically contributing a lot more to it than
because there's more expected goals against a starter than there would be against a non-starter.
Yeah,
because
and he's
they've
just
played more
overall playing more.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because they've played more games.
Yeah. And so they're 12th in that. They're hanging right around top 10, and are kind of climbing because Dostal started a little slow, I think, out the gate. Did not look like last year Dostal, but over the past month
also, he didn't look like last year Dostal, but he still looked really good, honestly.
Yeah.
So, you know,
he looked like just like a good goalie.
Yeah.
A good top top 12 goalie, not like a top 5, and now he's
Yeah.
kind of creeping back into that like
With
top 5 range.
Dostal clicking on all cylinders, this is a scary team.
Yeah. And the vibes just like they have to be an A.
Yeah.
This is a team that's been in the rebuild process and languishing, and they were kind of disappointing last year. I think themselves and a lot of people thought they were gonna not be a terrible team, and they kind of were. And they're not a terrible team right now. They're top of the division, one of the best in the West, one of the best in the league. So I think vibes have to be an A.
Yeah, I think some people might have predicted that they could be a playoff team this year. I don't think very many people would be predicting that they would be at the top of the Pacific Division right now. So that's huge for them, and for them to get that after being on the struggle bus for as long as they have been, and it coming from like contributions, like big breakout seasons from Carlson, and contributions from up and down the lineup. Like you just. Things are good right now in Anaheim.
Yep.
Any fun things from their ancillary stats here?
I mean, I got to call out that they are 5-1 in extra time.
In the coin flip.
I think that makes sense in a very offensively talented team.
Yes. That they're 4-1 in overtime and have only made it to the shootout once. I mean, they're a team that thrives on speed. They're a team that thrives on shooting the puck a lot. So
yeah, and I don't think they're that fluky with their quality performances against playoff teams. We'll get to some teams that are farming the lottery teams from last year, and they're not that kind of team. So I think this is a team that. As long as things don't completely fall apart, particularly on the health side, this should be a playoff team.
They had like a week or two where I feel like they went through like an absolute ringer and they just like beat every good team that they played against. Yeah. And then obviously that didn't last, the whole time. They've had some losses since then and stuff like that. But like for a solid week, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I feel like they beat a bunch of good teams in a row. So
yep,
they've shown us some good performances.
All right, so next up we have the Calgary Flames, a team very opposite, I'd say, from Anaheim, where they're last in the Pacific, they're second to last in the West, second to last in the NHL, negative record overall, not doing nearly as well. However, their offense, strangely, is almost possibly good. We gave them a C+. Their expected offense is quite good. They're ninth in the league in expected offense. Their actual offense has improved from where it started for the first 2 weeks
at the start of the season.
Yeah,
they could not buy a goal.
They were like the only team through the first. I think them and Buffalo were the only teams through the first 2 weeks that had a sub 2 goals per game. So it is now 2.2 goals per game, which is still bad. It's 23rd. But yeah, their offense is almost, it could be good. This is, I think, a finishing talent gap.
Yeah.
This is where the talent's not there. I think this is a pretty good endorsement of the coaching as well as their expected defense grade, which we gave a C+ as well.
Yeah, and honestly maybe should have given higher than that. It's just hard to with how bad the actual numbers have been. But based on their expected, they're playing good team defense. If you think about their team, they've actually got some pretty solid two-way players and defensive guys. So it kind of all makes sense. So yeah, C+ is what we decided to give them. You could argue to put it a little higher if.
I mean, I can change it in post.
Whoa!
We can bump it up to a B- or maybe a B.
Let's give it a B. Let's have something. Let's have something good in Calgary for once. Give them something to be happy about.
They're tied for 18th in actual numbers, with not the best goaltending. Yeah. So that's definitely the defense kind of dragging that number up a bit. When with their expected goals, you can see. So obviously the real talent is costing them some wins. But the special teams is also costing them some wins. Their power play, we gave an
Yeah,
F.
it's really bad. They're second to last in the league in actual goals for per 60. Um, they are not doing much better at the expected goals for. Another time when they're underperforming their expected goals for because of the lack of finishing talent on the team. Um, they need some offensive juice to be able to get this up.
Their their actual goals for is not a ton higher than Colorado's 5v5 goals for 60.
Wow.
Like I think it's barely one goal more per 60 on the power play than Colorado's. So that just shows you how bad their power play
I think
is.
I'd favor Colorado in a game where where Calgary got to play 6v5 basically anytime they were in the offensive zone. They got to keep their goalie.
Yeah, yeah. I think Colorado's winning a fair amount of those. Uh, their penalty kill not a ton better. D minus. The real numbers are respectable, middle of the road.
Yeah.
But that's it's probably some goaltending and luck boosting them up because their actual numbers are quite bad. At 10.41 expected goals against per 60, 25th in the league. Is not a good penalty kill either. So their special teams and their real performance is hurting a team that, otherwise I think could be a respectable wild card contending team. I don't think Ryan Huska is a problem there. And then their goaltending is improving.
Yeah,
it was dreadful.
It started off very, very bad, but it has become fine, and we know that it's better because of how good Wolf was last year. I think he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, and Dustin Wolf has been, or not Dustin Wolf, Devin Cooley has been pretty good as a backup. He's been given the easier matchups. I remember seeing it from one of their games I saw recently where like his first 4 starts were against bottom level teams. His 5th one was against the first good team. That was like one of the keys to the game before the game.
What if we look at their record too? They've been getting shit on by all the top teams, but they're respectable against other lottery teams. So,
Yeah, they probably shouldn't be like 31st bad.
Yeah, they should be like middle of the bad teams bad, like 26th or something in that range, a little higher than they are.
Yeah, I think as the goaltending gets better, and if they can figure
out how to finish a little bit, I don't think that's going to get any better though, because I think they're likely to
probably not a lot.
I think they're likely to not be adding anything. So
I could see them getting a little luckier for like weeks at a time.
For sure.
And also they want to play games in Calgary. They have been on the road a lot this season. They played 15 of their 25 on the road, and their road record is very bad. So they definitely want to play more home games, and they're looking forward to a more home-heavy stretch from here, I think.
They gave Calgary a D+ for vibes. I think that it was F for like a week or two at the start of the season, but or like the second week of the season or whatever. But it's going up a little bit from here. I don't think they had any fans had any real expectations of them being like major competitors or anything like that. I do think fans probably thought that Dustin Wolf would be a lot better this year. I think they thought maybe Nazem Kadri would have a better year and maybe potentially be able to fetch them something and stuff like that. And that hasn't quite happened. So I think they haven't quite seen all of the things that they want. But it's not like the end of the world because expectations were really low to begin with, I would say. So that's the reason for no
I think
F.
there's some disappointment. Yeah. I think there's some disappointment with Zane Parekh not
for sure. For him not
fitting in.
sticking.
And Also, still no resolution with Rasmus
Yep.
Anderson, and it's a seller's market, so it's not like they need to do anything. But the longer it goes on, you know, we'll see how that evolves. But I think there's just not a lot of excitement either
Yeah.
with this team.
They are, I think, quite far away from being a contending team.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like here. Just
Yeah.
they need a lot of talent.
Yep. So moving into the Edmonton Oilers, a team that is heavily disappointing right now, with a 10-10-5 record. Edmonton starts slow. It's what they do every time, and they always come back from it. But
Always.
some of these numbers are pretty rough. And in a Pacific Division that is, I think, improved a bit at
For sure,
least.
there's two teams that are reasonably good this year. Anaheim we talked about as being
Yep.
quite improved, and then Seattle, who we'll talk about later, who have done better this year than they did last year by like a substantial amount. So a little
Yeah.
more resistance than I think Edmonton is used to in the Pacific for the last couple of years at least. So
Their 5v5 offense is surprisingly bad. Usually you think of Edmonton and this is like, oh, this is the oops all offense
right.
team. And at 5v5, we gave them a C plus. Their offense isn't that great.
Yep, around 20th in both expected and actual goals for per 60, which is, bottom middle of the pack. Like they just have not had it offensively so far. In 5v5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they haven't had it in a lot of other categories either, as we'll get to.
Yeah. So
they're
we gave their defense an
they're
F.
they're failing a lot of categories right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like this defense core was supposed to be one of the strengths of this team, and was one of the strengths of this team last year.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons they were able to stay in games because they had defensively minded guys that were reliable in their own zone, and that's not been the case this year. They've been giving up far too many chances, and obviously we'll get to their goaltending at some point. But most people probably know what grade their goaltending is going to get. So I mean,
Yeah.
viewers at home have watched a Edmonton Oilers game this year. They'll know what's coming there. But yeah, I mean, defense has been
Yep.
not there for this team.
Not been good.
So
Bottom quarter in expected and bottom two in actual, which of course goaltending plays into dragging that number down
Yep.
some. But even with league average goaltending, this is not going to be a great goals against average
yeah,
number.
and this is one case where I think we put our thing on there a little bit. I penalized them a little further because I just don't think this is acceptable for this team to have this bad of defensive numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, with the amount of money and theoretical talent they have on there. Even though they have a number of questionable defensively sided defensemen in Wallman and Nurse and Bouchard. But even like last year, Bouchard was okay defensively. And this year
He has
is
lost
an
games.
absolute
Has been
nightmare.
an absolute
defensively.
train wreck. Yep.
And then Ekholm is kind of fallen off and slowed down, but he's also a playoff guy, so it's like as long as you get there, he'll probably be better. But
Concerns about getting
You have
there
to-
right now.
yeah, you got to go on a hot streak here. The best part of their offense and their entire team is their power play, which we gave an A plus. It is fourth in expected, third in actual. This is Leon Draisaitl and Connor
Yep,
McDavid.
he gets to put both of those guys on the ice against four poor saps from the enemy team, and they're gonna get a goal. That's just how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bouchard as the quarterback at
Yep.
the
He's
point.
still good at that. As good as ever. So yeah, Yeah, that it's not the best power play in the league, but it's one of the best power plays in the league. So
Yep.
we gave it an A plus. Their penalty kill, on the other hand, we also gave an F. 30th
Yeah.
in expected goals against per 60, 20th in actual goals against per 60. So the goaltending stepping up a little bit when they're shorthanded. But I mean, that expected goals is terrible. 11.07.
Yeah.
That's very bad. It's been bad. Kind of in line with how their defense has been bad. Their penalty kill has been bad. So.
Yeah. It's so bad that it is almost offsetting the power play. Expected, it is offsetting the power play with how great your power play is. 5v5, it's or not 5v5. In actual, it's performing a little bit better than you expected, not a ton. Keeping in theme of grades here, we got another F on the board for their goaltending. 29th in goal saved above expected, dead last in the NHL in save percentage.
87.5%.
Really bad save percentage.
That's bad.
Like nowadays, I feel like 90s, like not great. It's like the acceptable. Like he gave you a chance.
Yeah.
And then like 89 to 88, it's like they had a bad game. Like that's a really bad game.
You're averaging
anything below 88 is like
87 and a half is abysmal. I don't know.
That's like AHL level goaltending.
They need to address it. We've said it a dozen times, but something's got to change because it's losing them games. And so for vibes, we gave them an F. Because it's bad out there. Like, I mean, we gave them 3 F grades for a team that was the Stanley Cup runner-ups last year and are currently on pace to miss the playoffs by a lot. I mean, their record is bad, but versus both playoff teams and lottery teams. They're doing better at home than they are away, but not like particularly good at home. Like, they're
half their wins have come in overtime.
Yep, that's crazy.
So, that's not ideal.
No, it is not. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, just
like maybe it shouldn't be F because I haven't seen like too many fire the coach and trade McDavid things that you see on some other teams that you'll see an F grade on. So maybe they're really a D- in vibes because people aren't trying to burn the team down right now. But I think there's a lot of.
It's real bad. It's real bad.
And this would be like a super F. This would be like F minus 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 if McDavid didn't have an extension in place.
Yes.
This would be absolute dooming. To the maximum degree if McDavid didn't have that extension.
This is not doing super hot though for the 2-year prove it deal that he gave them. Right? Like he gave them, he's like, you have 2 years to figure this shit out. If they miss the playoffs this year, I mean, like they're gonna have to win a cup in the next 2 in order for him to want to stay, I'm sure. So could potentially be a disaster.
You gave him 2 years, and they responded with Trent Frederick 8-year deal, and you're running it back with the same.
Running back with the same goaltending again. Oh my god!
Yeah, tough times in Edmonton land. Next up on the list is the LA Kings, who I was a big doomer on in the offseason.
I've always been a believer.
This team was going to be terrible.
I've always been a mild believer in the Kings. I wouldn't say I'm a believer, but I've been a mild believer.
They're sitting at 11-6-6. They're 7th in the West, 4th in the Pacific. Somehow 4th in the Pacific is 11th in the NHL right now. That was on nobody's bingo card coming into this year. You're a degenerate gambler if you would have said that there are 4 Pacific teams in the top 11.
The Oilers are not one of those teams.
Yeah. The Kings are going to start off with an Oiler-esque grade, though. They start off with an F for offense.
2.01 goals for per 60.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it is.
It's crazy.
And their expected is not that good either, sitting at 27th. Yeah, this offense sucks.
But everything else is good. They're
Yeah, everything else is in varying ranges of good, including their defense, which got an A plus.
They're seventh in both expected and in actual. Actual being 2.11 goals against per 60, which is a very, very low number. A lot of solid defenses that once they figured out that they have to bury Cody Ceci, which again, how great would this team be if they didn't have Cody Ceci right now? Man, wouldn't it be great if they just decided not to do that? But once they figured out they got to bury Cody Ceci, they kind of figured out the defense.
And not bury him with Brian Dumoulin.
Yeah, the rest of the defense is really come together as playing quite well.
Yep.
And then they have a bunch of good two-way and defensively minded forwards that help out. Like Andrei Kopitar is a fantastic. Quentin Byfield, I think, has a really great two-way game. Philip Deneau is one of the best shutdown centers in the NHL. Like they have three like actually really good two-way centers all the way down. So once Kopitar came back after his little bit of time that he missed, they're cruising. So. This is a team that plays very good team defense, which is good to see. I like those kind of teams.
Their power play, I guess a C plus. It should be a pretty good power play. They're 13th in expected, but the actual finishing talent is dragging them down at 27th in actual power play goals for.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal. I think it should be a better power play, I think.
They have enough finishers on the team that they should be able to get some stuff done. So I would expect it to improve at least a little bit. That's why I think we're a little bit more optimistic in our ranking.
Mm-hmm. And I think the return of Corey Perry should boost this number up.
It'll boost everything up.
Because he missed extended. Yeah, I mean, they started winning crazy hockey games. Crazy amounts of games. They start off kind of rough. So between demoting Cody Ceci and Corey Perry coming back from a season-starting injury, this team is skyrocketing up. I think that number will...
Yeah.
It'll stabilize. I don't know if it'll be a great number,
some big-time acquisitions this offseason from the Kings. Cody Ceci and Corey Perry.
Yeah. Their penalty kill is an A-. It is pretty
I'm not
good.
Surprised.
8th in expected, 15th in actual.
Yep.
Like I said, they obviously have really good defensive systems on this team.
Good defensive players
that are playing them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And their goaltending gets a B plus. Not spectacular goaltending, not jaw dropping, but 7th in save percentage, 14th in goal save above expected. I mean, Edmonton would commit war crimes to get goaltending like this. Just kidding. They wouldn't actually do anything.
Nope, they'll just sit there and
back the same guys.
Stuart Skinner again. Yeah. After a very rough start from Forsberg to the season, and honestly, he still hasn't been that great. But Kemper has come back in and has been very very good for them. So that's
worked his way onto a Canada shortlist for.
And honestly, if I'm picking, I'm putting him on the team. I don't know that he's a day one starter, but I think I'd rather have him there as a backup than a lot of the other guys. So he's done it when it matters. So
has a cup to his name. So
I think vibes. We gave them a B. Definitely trending up. This is a team that there were doomers like Colin before the season. I think there are even some Kings fans that were questioning a lot of the decisions that were being made.
I didn't see many positive thoughts of the offseason other than Corey Perry. it was like, yeah, Corey Perry, that's a great move. What did we do over everywhere else?
So
Cody Ceci, Brian Dumoulin, Jordan Spence.
Yeah, yep. Some definite question marks there, but I mean the results have been here in terms of their wins. They've gotten a quite good points percentage away. Not as good home, but
on the
they
road.
that's okay at home. So I think that home record will improve. So
yeah, probably.
Lots of overtime games, lots of lost shootouts. That's fun. I just always think
they're terrible in the shootout.
Those are absolute coin flips. They're 4 and 6 in coin flip games, so they're one game away from it being actually that. But I mean, they've beaten good teams, and they've actually, it looks like most of those coin flip games have been against some lottery teams that they've lost. So, and that's to be expected with a team like this, right? Where their offense is bad and their defense is good. They're gonna be in a lot of close games, and those bad teams can stretch out the game, and potentially sneak one over on them. I think this team just needs to add like one winger with like some good finishing ability, maybe to help out the power play and 5v5 a little bit on offense, and I think they're kind of cruising. For what it is, I don't think they'll win. Like, I don't think they'll be one of the top 3 teams in the Pacific. From what it seems like this 4th, I think, will stand. But they do currently look like they'll be.
I can see them sneaking a
they
third.
Definitely could, but they do seem like a team that could. That'll probably get a wild card spot, and then I mean, they got Corey Perry.
Yep. And I think their record is going to get a little bit better. Should they've played the same amount of lottery teams as they've won against playoff teams so far. So their schedule has been pretty tough to start the season. A lot on the road and a lot against good teams.
And they've handled it well.
Some home cooking. And playing some lower tier competition, I think, should boost their numbers in the standings. So,
yeah,
I think it's a surprisingly good time to be a Kings fan.
Nice little,
unless you're going to a game,
little Anze Kopitar retirement tour happening. So I'm glad that they're competitive and are not like absolutely terrible for his last year. So that'd be a travesty.
Next up, we got the San Jose Sharks, who are 11-10-3, 5th in the Pacific somehow, which is hilarious. That 4th in the Pacific is 11th in the NHL, and 5th in the Pacific is 24th in the NHL.
A little drop off there.
A little drop off, but also there's not like that many points separating them.
Yeah, there's a lot of mushy middle loser points that have come out this year. It's kind of a travesty, I think.
Yep. And we'll get to those loser points in a moment with this team because they collect them quite well. But their grades here, not particularly great. Offensively, they got a D. And that might be a tad generous.
I think it's legit. Because I don't know, so they're 22nd in goals for per 60, 31st though in expected goals for per 60. They are a team I think of as having some good finishers. They do have good offensive young firepower. I think a D is reasonable for them. I stand by that ranking that we did the other night.
And their defense also a D. 26th in expected goals for, 23rd in actual, and they've gotten some pretty decent goaltending as we'll get to in a little bit. So that's the actual numbers, not a ringing endorsement of their defense.
They're not. Their defense is not very good.
No, they don't have hardly any NHL caliber defensemen on their blue line. They're playing as a unit a little bit better than I think I expected.
Yeah, they're not getting like completely. They're not getting completely run through. Like, they're only getting mildly.
Like this is a team that I would have said expected goals against of 3 or higher.
You could have.
At 2.87 is not a lot higher than 3, but it's higher than 3. So
Yeah. Their power play we also gave a D to. It's 24th by expected goals for, 17th by actual. Again, the finishing finishing is decent. I don't know. It's not. I wouldn't say their system is the best. I think they have a good amount of offensive talent, and that's kind of getting them some power play goals. They don't have a great power play quarterback, so
no.
um,
They have a bunch of washed power play
they do.
quarterbacks.
They're collecting washed power play quarterbacks. Uh,
Like, man, if you had Nick Leddy or John Klingberg like 10 years ago, this power play be cooking. But they have him in 2025.
yeah, it's tough out there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then their penalty kill is expected to be quite bad at 26th. 10.5 goals against per 60 on the penalty kill is pretty bad. Their actual is 8th, which again contributes, or it can be attributed to goaltending. There's the saying your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer. So, I maybe could be higher than a D, but it's not a very good penalty kill. But what is good about this team is the goaltending, which is crazy because Ned and Askarov for the first week of the season were just terrible.
Yeah, it was a disaster class at first, but they really settled into it. Ned has been bounced back and been a pretty respectable goalie, and Askarov has actually been very good as a starter.
He's been flying up.
That's I think fantastic to see. Part of why I think we're giving them A vibes is because this is a team that was not expected to be good. They still think that they're far away. They didn't try and buy anything actually good over the offseason. And they're getting more wins than they probably expected they would. And, they have Askarov, who looks great. And then, I don't know how we got through this without saying Macklin Celebrini's name. But holy shit. Jesus Christ. Just, an actual, pre-salary cap era 19-year-old season. like a legitimate this is what teenagers used to look like when the level of skill in the league was lower, and he's just coming in here and he's showing that, oh no, this is still possible. I'm still that much better. I'm gonna be on the Olympic. I hope he's on the Olympic roster, and
he's making it hard to say no. Because I think the gut instinct is to say no.
Right.
To a 19-year-old.
But then you look at how good he's been, and it's I don't know. I don't know that I can name, 10 Canadian forwards I'd rather have than Macklin Celebrini. Yeah. Much less 12,
Yeah.
Can I name 8? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. But he's been insane.
Yeah. Between him, Bedard, and Carlson, there's a new crazy highlight almost every night between the three of them. Absolutely insane. And they're definitely why the vibes. He's a big reason why the vibes A. That he seems to be taking another step. Will Smith, kind of similar to Askarov after a little bit of a slow start, he's started picking up and going insane. I know a lot of Sharks fans have been really happy with Colin Graff as a rookie. He's come in and played really well, in kind of the more middle six power forward archetype. So they're excited about the young guys.
Right.
Every acquisition and trade has so far worked out. And while there's some yikes contracts on this team, that's by design to hit the floor. And all
they
flipped Wallman for a first. Could they flip somebody else?
All of it's expiring. When they're gonna actually do, they're gonna have whatever they want to spend on whoever they want.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Ned should fetch something right now.
honestly, like they could go out and buy a full team next year and just put
Yeah.
Macklin, Celebrini, Will Smith, and Askarov in on that team, and like that's gonna be a good
Yeah.
team. Like
They could go get a nice blue line.
yeah, if they go buy 3 defensemen next year, maybe like a middle 6 center, all of a sudden this
Yep.
is like a real team.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think that they're that close after being so bad before, but that's just how big of a leap these guys have taken. So it's hard to put the vibes any lower than an A
Yeah.
for that. So they have stolen
The
some.
big thing I'll do to damper the vibes, they have 6 extra time
Oh
wins
yeah,
of their
I was
11.
going to say that.
So,
yeah, the wins have been a little stolen, but that's okay.
Yeah.
This is a team that you would expect to be good in overtime. Young, hungry, offensively
Yes.
gifted. You get to play a lot of Macklin, Celebrini.
You get to play like Celebrini, Smith, and whichever defenseman you want to throw out there, Dickinson, if you want to get real dicey, real high risk, high reward, or like Lil Jagrin. Yeah. Also quite good at home
Yeah.
so far this season, and surprisingly good against good teams.
Yeah, it does seem like
they're-
they've been sneaking them out again. We've been seeing like these wins, and it's like, man, how'd the Sharks pull that one off, you know? So
Yeah. Next up, we have the Seattle Kraken, who are 3rd in the Pacific, 10th in the West. I believe they have the exact same record as the LA Kings. They do. So I guess I have the tiebreaker there. And similar to the Kings, we're going to start with an F grade on offense.
Ooh, this is
The worst offense in the NHL.
yeah, ouch, dude. Can we get a
This
lower?
could be, like,
Can
super
we get like a Z? We gave out S's.
Can we give it F minus?
I'm giving this a Z. It's getting a Z.
I'm fine with that.
One
Expected under 2 goals.
Expected
It's
under
crazy.
2 and actually 1.9. Like
Yeah.
they got wooden sticks out in Seattle. I don't know what to tell you.
Like, they have an expected of 1.96, and they're not hitting that. They're not hitting that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this offense is
It was
terrible. Which we were expecting
Yeah.
that. But I mean, this is
They don't have any.
This is
They don't have any
extra
offensively talented players.
yeah. Yeah, Shane Wright has taken a big step back. They kept Berkeley Catton in the press box for like a month for some reason,
Yeah.
and he's been solid. Matty Beniers is not gonna be that guy.
I think he's taken a little bit of a step up this year, but not like a tremendous one, like offensively, to where he's all of a sudden like,
Yeah.
Any of the other guys that we have talked about or we'll talk, right? Like he's not in the conversation with Celebrini or Bedard
No.
or any of those guys. So, yeah, I think this is probably around who he is, which is solid 2-way center who's not gonna overwhelm you with offensive talents, which is unfortunately not what this team needs. Because what this team needs right now is like a Macklin Celebrini, who can just score them goals because no one else can.
Yep. Their defense gets a C plus. 2.73 is tied for 18th in expected goals against, and 1.8 goals against is the only reason this team's winning games. But we'll get to why that's the reason later.
They have 1.9 goals for and 1.8 goals against. They are actually favored to win their games if they were got their average, which is crazy with that 1.9 number. Yeah.
If you want to introduce somebody to hockey and get them into sport, do not show them Seattle Kraken games at all
That's
costs.
low event hockey.
Show them almost anybody else. This is really bad. Their power play gets a C minus. It's okay. I mean, it's actually kind of decent compared to their
It's
actual
it's
offense.
impressive that they're able to score anything on the power play with the quality of forward talent that they've got. So
Yeah. They're 21st in expected, 20th in actual. It's okay. Same with the penalty kill. It's a C minus. The penalty kill really confuses me because of the next category we're going to talk about. Their actual penalty kill numbers are last in the league, 11.39. Their expected is 18th at 9.5. But usually, if this was Edmonton, we'd be like, oh, goaltending. But here in Seattle, their goaltending is pretty respectable.
not pretty respectable. We gave it an A plus.
Yeah, it's great.
They lead
7th in goals saved above expected, and 1st in save percentage.
They lead the league in save percentage with 93.33%, like a insanely high save percentage. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's up with that penalty kill number. We're calling it an anomaly. We're calling it the goalies are falling asleep during the penalty kill. I don't know what it is, but at all other times the goalies are fantastic. Decord is great.
Yep.
Just straight up.
And then Matt Murray and Philip Grubauer
have both been extremely good.
They've been very good at backups. Yeah. Which they have both not been very good backups over the past couple of years.
I would agree with that. There's I don't know about, this might be a little too projection area, but like there's a real chance that next year they could retain on Grubauer and get something. As opposed to if they retain and he keeps up this level of performance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Which to even suggest that, Colin, before this year started, I would be probably smited down by God himself for that level of blasphemy to say that perhaps that could happen. Like that you could even like it would take giving picks away in order to be able to offload his thing. But he's actually played very well so far this year. So I mean, goaltending is quite good for Seattle and has been what has kept them in games. They are on the downswing, I would say, in terms of their performance. They started off quite hot, and they've been a little bit less good lately. But they're still finding ways to win games. Yeah. We gave them a B for vibes. This team is looking a little bit. The results are better than I think we expected from them.
Yes.
And so that's great. Obviously, this team being in the playoff picture here at Thanksgiving is really cool. You know, how much of that is going to stick around? Like, if there's some teams that are playoff teams right now that are in the playoff that are in the playoff picture right now that I don't think are going to make it. This is one of them that could potentially drop out. Just because when we look at these numbers, those offensive numbers, that's going to be hard to sustain without elite defense and special teams and all the other stuff that they're there. But I don't know. There's still things to like here.
I mean, if this is a team that I think if they were able to add up front at the deadline, I think could be a playoff
They're
team.
like an Artemi Panarin in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe like two Ricard Raquel.
I don't know about that. I think they need an Artemi Panarin.
Away. Yeah, they probably do. They probably do need an Artemi.
I think that's like actually the only trade they could make that would make me think that they would actually be a playoff team.
Of the reportedly
obviously, like, you know, they could go out and, you know, trade for Connor Bedard or whatever. That's not happening, right? You know, like if but of the guys that could potentially be available at the deadline, Artemi Panarin to this team seems like a fantastic match.
Yeah.
So, but don't give up on the Rangers just yet, folks.
Next up is the Vancouver Canucks, who are 10-12-2. They are 7th in the Pacific, 29th in the NHL. Fun fact, like the bottom 5 teams in the NHL are all in the West. but then like also the top three are all in the Central specifically. So this team is not very good, but there's some decent parts to this team.
Yeah.
Their offense is a C minus. It is not too far away from middle of the pack.
Certainly fine for the amount of injuries that they've had. I think that's been the story for me with Vancouver this year, has been how injured the forwards especially have been. I mean, they've probably missed a game from almost every single important player on their team. I'm looking at Puckpedia here, and fucking David Kampf is listed as their 2C. So, that's that's just the world we live in now. So, the forward depth is very depleted. Is very depleted, we'll say, by injuries, long term, short term. I mean, God, there's just a lot. So,
yeah, tied for 20th in expected, 19th in actual. They're decent at goal scoring, not spectacular. So C minus. And the reason that they're losing a lot of games, straight up defense. This is the worst defense group in the league, which is crazy because I think this defense group is actually pretty good. And this is a spot where I look at maybe coaching being an issue. Losing Rick Tocchet, which I think had to happen because of a lot of issues in the locker room, which I think is like the biggest thing a coach has to bring. Is cohesion in the locker room, and that absolutely was not a thing
and
last
we'll
year.
get to Rick Tocchet's team eventually. They've been quite overperforming their defensive. What I would think their defensive abilities would be. So yeah, for sure this team is underperforming the talent level defensively, I would say. So.
And then their actual goals against is tied for 25th. Also not very good. But as we'll talk about with the goaltending, this is an indictment of their defense, I think, this number. The best part of this team is the power play, though. It's an A minus. It's expected to be the third best power play. It's actually the 11th.
That seems reasonable. I mean, expected to be, because they have one of the best power play quarterbacks in hockey.
You got Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser.
Yep. Those are all guys that are gonna be good on the power play. And then they've been finishing at a reasonable rate compared to that, I would say. So this is a good power play. If they could,
it is.
And this is actually pretty good special teams because their penalty kill 11th by expected goals against. They've got one of those other things where they've had good goaltending, but not during the penalty kill. 28th in actual goals against per 60. So maybe the B minus was a little bit too generous to them, but genuinely good numbers for their expected in terms of doing that. So their power play system or penalty kill system has been adequate. Maybe the execution hasn't quite been as good. So maybe keep the assistant coaches when you fire the head coach, right?
And then their goaltending is a B minus. They're 18th in goal saved above expected with a positive number. And then their save percentage is actually 11th at 91%, even on the dot. Demko has bounced back and has been good. He's not a world beater. He's not prime Demko, but he has bounced back and been a respectable goalie, which that was a complete wild card coming in of like, what Demko are you going to get? Are you going to get Demko? And so far it's been a pretty good
Demko. I think
and Lankinen has fallen off quite a bit.
I think if you told most Vancouver fans that they would get this Demko this year, they would probably think that they were doing a lot better than they were in the standings. Yeah. It's been failures from the rest of the team that's really cost them, I would say. So,
and the vibes are D minus.
The vibes in this team are
recorded
always
this a week
bad.
later. It might even be an
The
F.
vibes on this team are always so bad because mean, Jim Rutherford was like, 2 years ago or whatever, was like, I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll sell Quinn Hughes. And then I feel like that's just low.
Actually, you know what? I'll put in an F. The amount of trade Quinn Hughes, I guess we got to trade Quinn Hughes. We got to trade the best player that we've ever had.
And it's Jim Rutherford's fault. It is the GM himself came out and was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if this contract will work, and I don't know if we'll be able to put a good team in front of him, and I mean, it's whatever he wants and stuff like that. And now every single fan has it in the back of their mind every time they lose a game that Quinn Hughes gets a point in. They're like, ooh, is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the time where he's like, I want out or whatever, Yeah. And honestly,
send me to New Jersey.
If I'm Quinn Hughes, I want out right now.
Yeah.
This team is not showing that it has the ability to win despite his performance. Like the thing that he arguably has the most impact on, which is the power play, is their only strength.
Yep.
And he's been a good player this year. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do need to trade Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, Jim Rutherford shouldn't have said it 2 years ago.
But Quinn Hughes is one of those players. It is almost impossible to get a fair deal back.
Yeah.
Because whoever's going to give you a fair deal back is going to nuke their team in order to do so.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose.
And whatever draft compensation that you get isn't going to be Quinn Hughes. Like, you're like, oh, those 3 first-round picks, one of them could be Quinn Hughes. No, they couldn't.
Especially not a Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
Maybe a, I don't know, like a 1C, because there's been a pretty good run of top-tier 1Cs if you get one of those draft picks. But any team you're going to send to Quinn Hughes to, they're not going to send them to, insert bottom feeder here. They're going to send them to a good
Carolina.
Team. Or New Jersey. Or and you're going to get
you're going to get like a middling
lottery picks.
You're going to get middling first back. And maybe you'll get some high upside prospects, but the upside that they have isn't Quinn Hughes. The upside that they have is like Philip Pronek.
I mean, yeah.
Who's a good hockey player, but he's no Quinn Hughes.
Yeah. No, I'm downgrading the vibes.
I think that's reasonable.
Which
there are not
kind of crazy because the vibes were like really bad last year. It's like they have improved. I think
they're still an F though. They were a Z last year. I think we would have given out a Z if we were doing this last year because like legitimately worst vibes in the NHL.
It would have just been like a picture of a tire fire or like a dumpster fire. But now it gets like a letter grade.
Last year, no Demko. The locker room was completely lost. Elias Pettersson looked terrible. Yeah. This year, Demko's back. He's been good. Pettersson's acceptable. I mean, he's not playing $11.6 million good, but like he's when the cap goes up,
he looks like a top 6.
Yes, he looks like a top 6. Yeah, when the cap goes up a little bit, that'll be a more respectable contract.
Yeah.
So, it's tough. It's tough for the Canucks right now.
Yeah. Also tough for the fans. They are terrible at home. So, you're going to pay all that money to go to a game, and they're going to lose at home. And, just not a lot of good here.
A lot of good grades that we gave them, funny enough, because their special teams has been good and goaltending has been good. But
their special teams has been great.
Special teams wins games, but it doesn't win games. You know what I mean? You still gotta do something in 5v5. So you gotta show up.
Also, 4 of their 10 wins coming in extra time. Almost 50%.
Yeah, they're only 1 game over the coin flip.
This is a team that gets a lot of loser points, right? This is Vegas, who are 10-5-8. They lost 8 games in extra time. They've only won a single game, though.
Yeah.
And I actually rate that. I think winning overtime and shootout is actually more fraudulent than losing.
Yeah.
Because I sit here and we say, who was it? Was it LA? Who had it was Edmonton. Edmonton's 5 of their 10 wins come in overtime and shootout. That's not going to happen in the playoffs.
Right.
Because they're going to have to play 5v5 hockey.
Which they're notoriously bad at.
All these 8 overtime and shootout losses
those
to
just
Vegas
aren't going to happen.
Really matter.
Vegas is 10-5, baby. Or they're 9-5. They're 9-5.
Yeah. 9 of their 10 regulation wins come in regulation. I actually rate that higher, even though they do have the 8 loser points of
this is a team that
losses.
would be indirectly rewarded a lot by the 3-2-1, right? Because they would be giving their opponents that they're doing, they would get less points basically than they would normally. So they would be 1 point lower, while presumably teams like Edmonton, who I think have beaten Vegas in overtime this year.
A quarter of the league is beating Vegas in overtime this year.
Yeah, so
they're currently second in the Pacific, 8th in the NHL. Their offense we gave a B grade to. It is right in the middle of the pack, 5v5, tied for 14th in expected, tied for 17th in actual. And they have also not quite Vancouver levels, but they've dealt with some injuries up front this season, so. Is a respectable offense.
Yeah.
Similar to some other teams we've seen in this division, their defense is quite good. They got an A grade in their defense. They are 5th in expected goals against per 60 and 8th in actual. And their goaltending, to spoil a little bit, has not been fantastic. So I think that actual goals against is quite indicative of their defensive quality.
Yeah, I think this is a sneaky good defense. I mean, they have some very good defensively leading play, especially in their bottom 6, and then William Karlsson, and in terms of their forwards, and then they just have a solid defense group. I think,
yeah. I mean, they got 2 1Ds.
Yeah, and Hannafin even I think is one that leans into being more of a kind of two-way guy. You know, when I think of Hannafin, I think of him not as being a Quinn Hughes style giga quarterback in on the rush kind of thing, but more so a guy that's able to move the puck really well and play in his own zone reasonably well. So,
this team also very good on the power play, tied for 6th in expected goals for with almost 11 expected goals for per 60, and their actual is 5th in the league at 9.47. They got an A grade on their power play.
Pavel Dorofeyev, man.
This is Pavel Dorofeyev, the stat.
Not as much anymore. He's slowed down a little bit, but for the first 2-3 weeks of the season, I feel like he was averaging a power play goal a game.
He's Pavel Dorofeyev, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that just has a good power play. You look at the guys that are on this unit. They got Mitch Marner. That guy's real good.
Yeah, he's real good. Power play.
That guy is real good. They got to take Mitch Marner, best power play quarterback in the NHL, perhaps, and then Dorofeyev, Eichel, Stone, I think they've run with some 5 forward power play too, which is sick. Just an option that you have when you have Mitch Marner on your team. Man, what a good player. You want to talk about another thing Mitch Marner has helped out with?
Yeah, the penalty kill got a B grade. Expected to be 3rd. Actuals struggling a little bit at
let's
19.
give this a B plus.
I'm fine with giving that.
I think being 3rd and expected when your goaltending has been the actual is indicative of where the goaltending has been. I think, I mean, it's Mitch Marner, baby. It's Mitch Marner time. I mean, where
also Mark Stone's been hurt for quite a bit of the season, and he's a big penalty killer too.
Yeah, I mean this, and Carlson's missed time as well. He's also a guy that can kill some penalties. So,
God, they have so many good penalty killing.
They are so stacked. This is a team that just is They're perfectly constructed for in my mind for the way that I like to see teams play hockey. You know,
They could almost run a 3-4 penalty kill. It's almost justifiable.
if they could come up with a system that leveraged that in some way that was interesting, I think that would be pretty cool.
They could run like a Marner, Stone, Carlson, and I don't know, whoever is their best anchor. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
I bet they could kill penalties. Like I don't know that they would still be like a top tier penalty kill unit, but I bet they could kill penalties. Like they're not just gonna get caved in every time. You know, they could look like a reasonable penalty killing team. You know, not like
But the worst part of their penalty kill unit is their goaltending, who gets a C grade. They're barely positive in goal save above expected at 25th with a 1.53, and their save percentage is 19th with a 90.22. Aiden Hill's been hurt for a lot of the season here, and he's not like a world beater of a goalie.
He is a consistent one at least, and they've definitely been lacking the consistency in net. Schmidt's still young, hasn't quite had it together. They've got fucking Carter Hart now that has played a game and is probably hadn't. I don't think he played before Thanksgiving, so you know if we
because I think Carter Hart is not in these not
numbers. Reflected in these numbers, but
it's Akira Schmid, it's Carl Lindbaum, and Lindbaum was quite an adventure on the back end. But yeah, this team needs Aiden Hill back.
Yes,
in a big way.
But they've been managing to get wins in the meantime.
Yes, they have. They certainly have.
Yeah. Let's see. So we gave this team a B for their goal or for their vibes. I think they're with Aiden Hill and with a couple more wins, I think that we'd be probably leaning more towards an A. Especially at the beginning of the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of things at times. So, but I mean, this is still a team that's sitting at I think this is exactly where they thought they would be. You know, right near the top of the Pacific.
Yeah. I think they probably would. I think most people would say they were probably better than Anaheim.
Yeah, but like they're
and pushing Colorado more, as like contending for number one in the.
I mean, Anaheim is 7th in the NHL and they're 8th. So you know, like they're right there with them.
Yeah. And like I think the lack of extra time success. Kind of hurts the vibes, even though it doesn't matter really in the grand scheme of things. It's still 8 games that you feel like you probably should have won, that you walk away with a loss.
So if they
some of the injuries,
if they turn 3 OTLs into wins, then they're 13-5-5. Like that's all of a sudden, you know.
Yeah, you're feeling a lot better.
That's like almost Dallas.
Even though you're really not a lot better. It's not materially
I don't think that
but just
I don't think that makes them any better at all. The fact that they've won, like I don't place almost any weight at all in your overtime success rate. But it does hurt the vibes when you come out with a loss when you feel like it could have been a win. And especially when you do it over and over again. So this team's been crushing lottery teams. And
yes, they have.
They've been
I think that also factored in a little bit. Their success against playoff teams has not really been there. Just the 2 wins.
But been lots of close games. I mean, there have been a ton of close Vegas losses, close overtime losses that some of these playoff teams have had. So, this is a good team.
And I don't think they're obviously with no Aiden Hill, they're not there at the final form. And with the amount of forward injuries they have, I don't think they've even found the they've formed the full
Yeah,
puzzle.
I don't
up
think
front
they've had a
as far
fully
as like
healthy game
lines
yet.
and combos.
Between Aiden Hill, Mark Stone, and William Karlsson all missing extended time, I think there probably hasn't been a game where they've fielded their full lineup that you'd expect to see if everyone was healthy. So,
Yeah,
Hannafin also missed some time at the beginning of the year.
yeah.
So,
And Marner's been good, but I don't think he's been game breaking. The guy who has been, I guess, the two is Dorofeyev and Eichel have both been absolutely phenomenal up front. And Marner's been great, but hasn't been, game breaking. And Barbashev hasn't been quite as fantastic, but he's been picking up a lot lately.
Mark Stone's been really good since he came back as well.
Yes, he has also been insanely good.
Yeah, this is a very deep lineup with basically like three like strong lines of players. Like they could legitimately field like fully healthy. They could legitimately field three lines that are at least as good as the average team's second line. Like their third line is going to be second line material, which is pretty spooky to say because their defense is also quite solid. And I think Aiden Hill has proven himself in the playoffs at least enough to where you say that you're comfortable with him. So,
and who knows what you're going to get out of Carter Hart?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which that will not help the vibes. But in professional sports, winning cures all.
That is true.
So
that is true.
That's the Pacific Division. We'll be moving on to the Central Division up next. Yep. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, let us know what we're right about, what we're wrong about. And if you guys are like, how'd they get a B instead of a B+, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. We thought extra hard about some of these things,
I mean, we did, but like, you want to argue somebody should have a B instead of a B+? Sure. The real argument is like, oh, they shouldn't have gotten a C. They should have gotten an A-. Now, there's a take. There's a take that's worth dropping a comment for. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next time.